The fightings in between the Myanmar military and the Arakan army have escalated in the western state of Rakhine and put the thousands of Rohingya Muslims at a major risk. Based on interviews by Al Jazeera with Rohingya activists who have spoken to the witnesses in Buthidaung, there have been huge fires across the town in the last few days. They accuse the Arakan army of being behind the Arson campaign. But the Arakan army has rejected the allegations, saying the fires were started by the Myanmar military in air attacks. It is understandable that thousands of Rohingya are fleeing for their lives and are increasingly unsafe, caught between the military, which seized power more than 3 years ago. In 2017, the military launched a brutal attack on Rohingya that is now the subject of genocidal investigation. The Arakan army that denies of being involved in the alleged arson campaign has recently announced that it had taken control of Buthidaung. On May 19, the Arakan army's commander-in-chief Twan Naing posted what appeared to be a warning on his X account. It read, "Attention R-Bengali diaspora activists and coterie." He wrote using the term Bengali that the Rohingya consider a slur. The people of Myanmar military are fighting against a brutal military regime with great tribulations and sacrifices. Please stop selfish grumpiness and sabotaging, dragging a struggle into the wrong direction. It is time to abandon your misbegotten scheme of creating a separate Islamic safe zone through foreign interventions. It is very unpatriotic. Irrespective of who is responsible for the attacks, human rights groups are sounding the alarm, warning of the danger of another serious wave of ethnic and communal violence that could be even worse than in 2017. Fortify Rights says, while it is extremely difficult to verify who is responsible for the attacks, the reports have been harrowing. The Arakan army and junta must refrain from causing harm or targeting civilian infrastructure, including homes. The area that has been burned does not seem to be a military target. There are reports of thousands of Rohingya being trapped in the rice fields, including children. Sai Arkar, a human rights associate at Fortify Rights, told Al Jazeera. The Special Advisory Council to Myanmar, known as the SAC-M, a group of former UN Special Rapporteur monitoring the situation in Myanmar since 2021 coup, also stressed the urgency of the situation. Nathan Russell, a geospatial analyst at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, told Al Jazeera that based on satellite and other available evidence, the arson attacks were most likely to have been carried out by the Arakan army. What we are seeing is a widespread scale of arson attacks focused on the Buthidaung township in northern Rakhine state. He also added that it appears that most of the villages and areas targeted in the recent days are Rohingya settlements. The question now arises is, where did the Rohingya come from? And why are they being brutally persecuted? The Rohingya people are a stateless Indo-Aryan ethnic group who predominantly follow Islam and reside in Rakhine State, Myanmar. Before the Rohingya genocide in 2017, when over 740,000 fled to Bangladesh, an estimated of 1.4 million Rohingya lived in Myanmar. Described by Human Rights Watch as one of the most persecuted minorities in the world, the Rohingyas are denied citizenship under the 1982 Myanmar nationality law. There are also restrictions on their freedom of movement, access to state education, and civil service jobs. The legal conditions faced by the Rohingya in Myanmar have been compared to apartheid by some scholars and Democrats, including the Nobel laureate Bishop Desmond Tutu, a South African anti-apartheid activist. The genocide has consisted of 2 phases to date. The first was a military clampdown that occurred from October 2016 to January 2017, and the second has been occurring since August 2017. The crisis forced over 1 million Rohingya to flee to other countries like Bangladesh, which resulted in the creation of world's largest refugee camp, while others escaped to India, Thailand, Malaysia, and other parts of the South and Southeast Asia, where they continue to face persecution. In late 2016, the Burmese military was accused of committing ethnic cleansing and genocide by various United Nations agencies, International Criminal Court, human rights groups, journalists, and governments. The UN found evidence of wide-scale human rights violations, including extrajudicial killings, summary executions, gang rapes, arson of Rohingya villages, businesses, and schools, and also infanticides. The Rohingya, recognized as one of the world's most persecuted minorities, still continues on being persecuted.